We were at her best friend's birthday dinner when my wife leaned over and hissed, "Do not embarrass me tonight with your pathetic life. No one cares about the stuff you waste your time on. Just sit there and smile." I swallowed my pride. But when everyone shared career wins, she smirked and said, "Jason, he's still pretending he's going to be somebody. It's adorable, like watching a dog chase its tail." The table fell silent. I said nothing. Then while toasting her friend, she sneered, "At least you didn't marry a broke man who thinks he's special." Laughter followed. I just smiled, said, "You'll regret this," and left. Next day, I made a move that left her crying on the porch. Now she's begging and calling every hour. "Please, I need you more than ever." I'm not some storyteller, just a guy who got embarrassed in front of a bunch of people I barely know. But whatever. I'm not looking for advice or pity. I just want to lay it out. So, yeah, here's what happened last night on Typing Truths. So first thing I'll say, this wasn't my first time at one of Christine's little group things, but they always feel weird. It's like, I don't know, every time I'm around her friends, I feel like I'm at the wrong party. Like I missed some memo about how I'm supposed to act. They all have these inside jokes from way back, but this time, it was Laya's birthday dinner. Some bougie little place that, honestly, I wouldn't have picked myself. Christine was running late getting ready, snapping at me because she couldn't find her phone charger, and then got mad when I asked if we could Uber since parking over there sucks. She told me not to be difficult and just drive. It's a small thing, but that's how the night started. So we get there, and the whole vibe is already off. Like I can tell Christine's on edge. She keeps checking her makeup in the camera on her phone, keeps asking me if I have to wear that hoodie. Like, we're not both adults. TBH, I just wanted to get through it and go home. I don't hate Laya or her friends, but it's always so much catching up about stuff I don't care about, and I feel like the extra chair. So anyway, we sit down, and it's all the usual. Laya, a couple of her old college friends, Dorothy, who's always talking about her weekend trips, and some new guy, Tatum, who I guess is Laya's latest real thing. Everyone's talking about travel and their new apartments and whatnot, and I'm just trying to keep up. Christine is laughing a little too hard at people's stories. You know that fake laugh? Like she's trying to prove she's the fun one. I notice she's not drinking, which is weird for her, and she keeps glancing at me whenever someone asks about work or hobbies, like she's waiting for me to say something she can correct. We order, and it's all kind of normal. But then Christine leans in and, real low, says, "Don't embarrass me tonight. Just smile. Nobody cares about your whatever it is you do. Just sit there and look happy." She says it like she's reminding me to not leave the stove on. But I'm sitting there thinking, did she really just say that? And then it's back to the fake laugh. I should have said something right there. But I just nodded. I get it. I'm not flashy. I don't do the whole hustle and post thing. But damn. So dinner goes on and people start sharing wins or whatever. I don't know, Dorothy's talking about some new things she bought. Tatum mentions some deal. Laya's just soaking it up. Then it gets to me, and Christine just cuts in before I even talk. She says, "Randall, he's still pretending he's going to be somebody." It's adorable, like watching a dog chase its tail. Everyone laughs, but it's that weird, uncomfortable laugh where nobody's really sure if it's a joke or not. I just sit there. I'm not going to start a scene at Laya's birthday. I know Christine. She gets this way when she feels like she's not the center. She's always been sensitive about not being the one with the biggest thing going on. She's got this thing about status, like she can't stand being second. I think it's from her mom. Honestly, her mom's always saying stuff like, "You got to be the winner, or people forget you." I don't know. I thought it was just talk, but I'm starting to see it. Anyway, after that, the whole table's kind of quiet. Laya tries to change the subject, starts talking about some show she's binging, and Dorothy's scrolling through her phone like she's looking for something more interesting to talk about. I'm just eating my food, thinking I should leave, but I don't. Not yet. Then after the cake, Christine stands up to do this little toast. I swear she loves being the one with the glass in her hand. She's going on about how Laya's always been the friend with her stuff together, how she chose right. And then she says, "At least you didn't marry a broke man who thinks he's special?" The way she says it, she's looking right at me, like not even pretending it's not about me. Everyone laughs. A couple people look at me, and Laya just kind of stares at her plate. I just sit back, push my chair out. I say loud enough for the table, "You'll regret this." And I stand up. Christine tries to grab my arm, but I shake her off. She says, "Don't make a scene. Don't ruin Laya's night." But she's already ruined it for me. I grab my jacket, walk out. I hear her behind me saying something to Laya like, "He's just sensitive. Don't worry about it." But I don't look back. I get outside and text my buddy Joseph. I ask if I can crash at his place. He says, "Yeah, no problem." I don't go home, I just drive. And I'm halfway to Joseph's before I even realize I left my phone charger at the restaurant, not going back for it. Christine sends me a bunch of texts. I don't answer. So yeah, that's the night. I didn't freak out, I didn't yell, I just left. I know people will probably say I should have stood up for myself right then, but honestly, I was just tired. But I'm not done. I'm not going to just let her stomp all over me and call it banter or whatever. She's always acted like she's above me because she makes more money and her friends are all doing better. But she forgot who actually holds things together at home. She forgot who actually cares about her when her friends bail on her. I'll update if anyone cares. But yeah, I'm about to show her just how pathetic I can be. I'm not playing the nice guy anymore. She wants to see what it looks like when I'm done pretending? Fine, she'll see. And that's it for now on Typing Truths. If anyone's got thoughts, go ahead. I know this is going to get split opinions. Just don't tell me to go to therapy or whatever. I'm not there yet. Woke up on Joseph's couch with that gross taste in my mouth. You know, the one you get after you've been angry for hours and then crashed with your shoes still on. Checked my phone. Like 23 missed calls from Christine. A couple texts from Laya. She just wrote, "Yeah, and are you okay?" And a long one from my mom just saying, "Please call her when I get a moment." I didn't answer right away. I needed to think. I'm not a planner. I just do stuff when I'm pissed. And last night, I decided I'm not playing the good sport anymore. Not after that dinner. So yeah, I went straight to the condo. It's maybe a 30-minute drive in morning traffic, but it felt longer. I don't even remember most of it. Just that I was already running through what I'd do as soon as I got there. Christine's car was gone. She always goes for her morning run with Dorothy. Posts about it on stories. All that predictable. I got inside, grabbed a laundry basket, started tossing my clothes and chargers and whatever stuff I actually use into it. The place was way too clean, like she'd just done one of her reset days. I left her stuff where it was. I didn't even want to look at her side of the closet. I grabbed the spare key off the hook, threw it in my bag. Then I started handling business. I logged into the bank, moved my direct deposit to my own account, took her name off the bill pay, locked the credit card. She's an authorized user, but the card's mine. She'll get the email soon enough. I changed the Wi-Fi password. She hates when I do that. Always says I'm being petty. Turned off the smart thermostat app. She can still live here, but it's not going to be easy. I'm not just shutting off Netflix or whatever. I'm making it so she's got to actually deal with stuff. She won't like that. Halfway through, my phone started buzzing again. I ignored, packed my laptop, some old notebooks, my headphones, left my toothbrush, because honestly, I want a new one anyway. When I was almost done, I heard the door. Christine walks in, hair still in that tight ponytail. AirPods in. She sees me, stops. Does that thing where she tries to look annoyed but not surprised. She goes, "So you're sulking now? You're really doing this?" I tell her, "Nah, I'm just tired of being the joke." She says I'm being dramatic, that everyone knew it was a joke. I always take things too seriously. I say, "Maybe I do, but I'm not doing it anymore." She tries to grab my bag. I hold it out of reach. She slaps my arm, not hard but sharp, then slams the bedroom door. She's not crying. She's mad. That's her default. I just keep packing. She comes out again, says, "You're really just going to leave." What am I supposed to tell people? I tell her, "Tell them what you want. Doesn't matter to me." She says, "You're not even sorry." I say, "Not even a little." She tries to block the hallway, but I just push past her. She's yelling now, says I'm acting like a child, that I'm ruining everything. I tell her, "I'm not ruining anything. Just removing myself from your little show." She throws her water bottle at the wall. It bounces, doesn't break. I lock the door behind me. I get in my car, just sit there for a sec. My hands are shaking, but not from nerves, just from being so done. I text my mom, just a short, "I'm okay, I just need some time." She calls. I let it go to voicemail. By noon, Christine's called me like 10 times. Then her mom texts me, says she's worried, asks if I'm coming to family dinner Sunday. I don't answer. I get a message from Dorothy, basically saying I need to talk to Chris and fix this. Not happening. I'm not fixing anything. I'm letting her actually live with the stuff she says about me for once. Afternoon, I get a ping from our joint account. She's tried to buy something, and it got declined. I know she'll be pissed. She's always said she lets me handle the boring money stuff because she hates numbers. Now she'll have to figure it out. I start sorting through all the admin stuff, cancel the auto pay on her gym, call insurance, take her off the car policy. The car is in my name, so I keep the registration. I'm not stealing it, just making sure she can't drive it around like nothing's changed. I send her a message, not mean, just factual, listing what I've taken care of and what she's responsible for now. I tell her she can have the place for now, but she's got to cover the bills. I'll come back for my stuff later. She texts back in all caps, says I'm being cruel, that I'm trying to ruin her life. I just leave it on red. I crash at Joseph's again, order some food, scroll through socials. Laya's posting pics from last night, but I'm not in any of them. Christine is, though, smiling like nothing happened. I laugh. She's always been good at pretending. Around 9 o'clock, my mom calls again. I finally pick up. She wants to know what's going on. Says Christine called her and said, "I had a breakdown." I tell her, "Not a breakdown, just done letting her walk over me." My mom sighs, says she always thought Christine was a little sharp, but she never liked how she talked down to me. She says she'll support me, but I need to be careful. I thank her. Tell her I'll check in soon. I get a message from Christine's dad, which is a surprise. He just says, "Call me." I don't. He's always been more chill, but he hates drama. I know he's going to tell me to work it out. Not happening. Next morning, Christine shows up at Joseph's place, banging on the door. She's crying now, not yelling. She says she needs me to come home, that she can't do this alone. Joseph tells her to leave. She tries to push past him. He blocks her. She slaps his chest. He tells her she needs to go. She stands on the porch yelling that I'm ruining her life, that I'm being unfair. Joseph threatens to call the cops if she doesn't leave. So she finally goes, slamming her car door. I don't feel bad. I'm not sorry. For years, she's acted like she's better than me just because she's louder, flashier, whatever. She's always had this chip on her shoulder about being the one who made it out, whatever that means. I think she needs people to see her as the winner, like it makes up for something in her past. But I'm done helping her play that game. I know this is just the start. I know she's not going to give up easy, but I'm not budging. She wanted to make me look small in front of her friends. Now she gets to see how it feels to have everything pulled out from under her. I'll post again if anything wild happens. Trust me, I'm not done. Stay tuned to Typing Truths. So it's been a couple days since everything blew up, and I thought maybe Christine would chill out, realize she pushed too far and just, I don't know, stop with the drama. But nah. If anything, it's just gotten messier. Man, I almost feel bad for her sometimes, but then I remember that dinner and the way she looked at me like I was just some little joke. So yeah, here's what's been happening on Typing Truths. First weird thing was Leia texting me, and not just, "Are you okay?" but like she actually wanted to talk. She's never done that ever. She starts out saying she's worried about Christine, that she's not herself. Maybe she's overwhelmed. I don't bother sugarcoating. Just tell her, "Nah, I'm not coming back." I guess word's gotten around their group chat that we're separated now. Dorothy unfollowed me on Insta, which is actually kind of funny. Tatum hasn't said a word, which tracks. I guess Christine tried to go to brunch with them that weekend. Her big move, always posting the mimosa pics. And Laya told me she barely said anything. Just sat there scrolling on her phone, wouldn't even order food. Apparently she snapped at Laya when she tried to ask if she was okay. I don't know what she expected, honestly. Her whole thing was always being the one put together in their group. Now she's just not. I started getting emails about bills. She hasn't paid the condo fees, hasn't paid the utilities, nothing. She actually called my mom, which is wild because she hates calling my mom. Told her I was being spiteful, that I was trying to make her homeless. My mom just said, he warned you, and hung up. Classic. So I send her a message. Here's what you owe for the condo. Here's the utilities. Here's when they're due. I tell her I'm not covering for her anymore. She texts back, says I'm being unfair, that it's not what partners do. I remind her, you made it clear I was just a side act at that dinner. If you want independence, here's your chance. She tries sending me money on Venmo, but it's like 10 bucks. I send it back, not playing games. Her dad calls again, wants to mediate. I tell him straight up, I'm not interested in talking unless it's about splitting stuff up. He says I'm hurting the family. I almost laugh. The only time he cared about our marriage is when we'd show up to their cookouts looking happy. Next thing, Christine's friend group starts to drift. Laya still checks in, but it's mostly out of habit, I think. Dorothy posts about self-care and knowing your worth, and I know that's about us. Christine stops posting altogether. Her socials go dead for like 3 days, which is unheard of. She's the type to put up stories about her coffee order. She tries to come by the condo, but I've already changed the locks and security code. She bangs on the door, leaves, comes back a few hours later, and yells through the mail slot. I'm not even there. Joseph tells me about it. He lives a couple blocks down and saw her car parked out front. Hazards flashing. She calls him, says I'm being dangerous. He just tells her to get lost. She slaps his car window, leaves a handprint. I get a letter from the insurance company. She tried to put the car in her name, but it bounced because she's not on the title. She texts me, says she needs the car for work. I tell her she can use the bus or Uber like the rest of us. She slams the phone down. Yeah, I heard it. My mom invites me for dinner. When I get there, she just makes spaghetti and we talk about anything but Christine. She says she always thought Christine was ambitious but sharp, and I should be careful because people like that can't stand when their image cracks. I tell her I'm not worried. She says, you should be, but she smiles. Christine's parents call a family meeting. Her, them, me. I almost don't go, but I want to hear what they'll say. Get there. They're all sitting in the living room like it's an intervention. Her mom tries to guilt me, says I'm ruining her daughter's life. I say she did that herself. Her dad tries to get loud, says I'm cutting her off from her own home. I tell him it's not her home. She's not on the mortgage. She didn't want to be. She didn't want the responsibility. He gets up, tries to get in my face. I don't back down. Christine is sitting there crying, says she just wants to go back to normal. I say normal ended at that dinner. She throws a pillow at me, then storms upstairs, slamming the door. Her mom says I should think about what I'm doing because people talk. I tell her, let them. I leave. On the way out, Christine yells from the window that I'm nothing without her. I just get in my car and drive. So now she's alone in the condo. Bills stacking up, friends drifting, parents mad, and I'm not lifting a finger. She's texting and calling every hour, telling me she needs me, that she didn't mean it. I just ignore her. Joseph asked if I feel bad. I told him sometimes, but then I remember all the little digs, all the times she said I was lucky she put up with me. I don't feel bad anymore. Laya sent me a message tonight, says she's worried about Christine, that maybe I should just talk to her. I said she's got her parents. She's got you. I'm done. I know this isn't over, not by a long shot, but I'm not backing down. She wanted to act like she could walk all over me. Now she can walk through life alone for a bit. I'll post again if G Biao system, if anything else happens. Something tells me this is about to get even messier. Stay tuned to Typing Truths. If you told me a month ago I'd be writing this, I'd have laughed. Like I always thought Christine was cold sometimes, sharp, but never thought she'd completely lose it in public over, well, over me. But here we are, and man, the last few days have been straight up weird, even for this whole mess. So I'm just trying to get through the week, right? I moved most of my stuff into Joseph's spare room. I'm working on sorting out the last of the condo bills and trying not to look at my phone every time it buzzes because it's either Christine or her mom. And I'm honestly tired. The only normal thing is my mom texting me dumb memes and spaghetti recipes. I'm not even on socials much because every time I see a story from Laya or Dorothy, it's just Christine not there, or some passive-aggressive quote about self-worth. Whatever. But anyway, I noticed Christine's text started changing. Like a week ago, it was all caps. You're ruining my life. I can't believe you do this to me. You're so petty. Now it's long paragraphs saying she misses the old us or how she just needs help getting back on her feet. And then the next message is back to rage. You're a coward. You never could handle a real woman. I just leave her on read or mute her. Joseph keeps saying, don't take the bait. He's right. So Wednesday I'm at work. Just another boring day. And I get a call from the front desk. They sound awkward like, hey, there's a woman outside asking for you. She's pretty upset. I'm like, who? They just say, she says it's urgent. I look out the window and there's Christine standing in the parking lot, hair everywhere, makeup smeared, in sweats. Seriously, I don't think I've ever seen her not in full makeup in public. She's pacing, yelling into her phone, then slamming it against her leg. This is not a woman who does messy. Like she'd literally rather be late to her own party than show up looking off. I go outside, she spots me, runs over, grabs my arm. She says loud enough for people to stare. You're ruining my life. I can't even go to brunch. Everyone's talking about me. You're making me look crazy. I pull my arm away. I just tell her, you did that to yourself. She starts crying, yelling, says she can't pay for anything, that her parents are sick of her, that her friends are fake, that none of them care, and she needs me more than ever. I tell her, you wanted to be the main character. Now you're it. She slaps me right there hard in front of at least 10 people. A couple coworkers come out. One asks if I want them to call someone. I shake my head, tell Christine she needs to leave. She tries to block my way, says she's not leaving until I say I'll come home. I just look at her and say that's never happening. She throws her phone on the ground. It cracks. She screams, says I'll regret this, that she'll make sure everyone knows what a loser I am. I just shrug. I'm done playing her games. Security comes out, tells her to go. She slaps the hood of my car as she leaves, then finally gets in her own and peels out. I go back inside, sit at my desk and just, I don't know, scroll through my messages. There's 10 new ones from her, all caps. Then 2 voicemails where she's sobbing and saying she can't do this alone. I delete them. That was 2 days ago. Since then, she's tried showing up at the condo, but I wasn't there. She called Joseph again. He didn't answer. Her parents sent me this long email about how I'm destroying their family's reputation. I forwarded it to my lawyer. My mom called and just said, you did good. Proud of you. I heard from Laya that Christine tried to come to brunch again, but Laya wouldn't let her in. Dorothy blocked her number. Even her parents are done bailing her out. I guess she's been staying at her aunt's place. But that won't last. Her aunt's kind of a hard ass. She's still blasting me with texts, but it's all noise now. Here's the thing, in case anyone's actually reading all this on Typing Truths, Christine was always about image. She needed to be the winner, the one who got out, the one who had the perfect husband, as long as he shut up and played along. I was supposed to just be there, smiling, making her look good. When I stopped playing along, she lost her mind. That's all it was, really. Do I feel bad? Not really. I'm not gloating, but I'm not sorry. I'm just moving on. I didn't break any laws. I didn't get physical. I just stopped carrying her weight and stopped letting her run my life. She can figure out who she is without me. So that's it. I'm not planning on updating again unless something wild happens. If you're wondering what it feels like to finally push back instead of just taking it, honestly, it just feels like breathing normally for the first time in years. Not happy, not sad, just done. Thanks for reading if you made it this far on Typing Truths. If you're ever sitting at a table and someone tries to make you the punchline, just remember you don't have to stay there. Sometimes walking away is the most hardcore thing you can do. But if you really want to make a point, make sure they feel it where it hurts. Their pride, their comfort, their little world. Trust me, it works.